Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Raven Creek here in our little special series, special edition series. I don't know if is this a special, but we are of course working again in the new South American part of Raven Creek, the South American trail that we started adding 3 weeks ago, I think. I'm getting old. I don't know anymore what happened and what I eat last last day. But we are working here, and we are finally building the first real habitat, the first real exhibit, and this time it is for the llamas and the emus. Some people might now who don't watch the last videos might say emus. Wait, these are not not they are Australian, but they are not South American. What is going on? I will talk about this a little bit later. But yeah, we are working on the first exhibit, the so-called the so-called Patagonian exhibit. If you haven't watched the little explain video, the little showcase video, this area is divided into 3 zones, so to say, all beginning with a P sound. We have Patagonia, later we have the Pampa, and then we have the Pantanal. So a lot of P's in this South American flora and fauna here. But this is the first one, the Patagonian exhibit. Patagonia, very almost at the tip of South American area, or a biome at the tip of South America, very much in the south, in Chile and Argentina, and very much classified by a lot of grasslands, a lot of rocky terrain, but also by not very high temperatures. The temperature is very much cold climate there, and it is humid, but it can also be very dry. But what very much stands out for Patagonia is that it is very windy over there. Hence why not many big forests have formed there. You have a lot of grasslands, a lot of steppes and savanna over there. And this also reflects what animal you can find there, mainly animals like the guanaco, the vicuna. You can find the rija there, and a lot of birds, and I think also flamingos. Chile flamingos are found over there, and a lot of other waterfowl. But yeah, that's why I decided to go for the llama, because we don't have a guanaco or vicuna at the moment, at least in the game. So the llama is a stand-in for that. And in the real life inspiration for this area, which is of course Zoo Leipzig, South American area, they have their vicunas, I think, together with the greater rija. The greater rija, if you don't know, is also one of the 4 big walking birds, together with the ostrich, the cassowary, and the emu. And yeah, sadly we don't have the rija. I still hope we get it some point to basically complete our collection of big walking birds, because it also looks very cool. It's a very cool bird, and that's why I decided to choose the emu instead of the rija. I also could have gone for the ostrich, but they are even bigger, and the cassowary, of course, is very colorful and not very fitting. And since I haven't built for the emu when the Grasslands pack came out, I decided now it's a good time to do that. So you can also see that as an emu build, as an emu habitat, if you want to have some inspiration for that. And if you at some point get vicunas, or if you get rijas, they of course get switched out for these animals to make this more South American area, of course. But yeah, inspiration, as I said, comes from Leipzig, South American area, as the whole area is basically a remodel from that. And in their habitats, they also have this very short grass, sandy, dirty exhibit with lots of rocks lying around and some hills, as you see on the right side of this exhibit, where the animals can climb around, jump around. explore the habitat, and also it kind of mimics the very rocky, very hilly, and very step-like terrain of Patagonia. The mud wall that you see is something I put in here. It's not in the real life example. They only have basically just a metal fence there with some plants, but I decided go for this mud wall for more natural feel, and we of course are also adding a small shelter here, because if we have them outside, and maybe we leave them outside for a couple days or nights, if the weather is good, we of course need some shade for them so that they don't get wet, that they can stay safe from the weather. And you can also we'll have a little feeder over there where we can feed them. Yeah, this is it's a very simple habitat, and you will not see me building the backstage of this habitat in this video. If you want to see how the backstage for this animal looks, I suggest watching the last video on my channel, the last released video from last week. There I made a full tour on all the backstages for these animals. Not only for these animals, but also for the other animals in this area. Very detailed, long tour where I talk about all the small things and bits, and what people can basically copy and keep in mind when they're building their backstages. So if you want to see how this is done and how this was built, one of my best builds, I have to say, in my career as a Planet Zoo builder and creator, I suggest watching that one. And enough of marketing my own videos, because if you're watching these videos, maybe you want to also watch these, so I don't need to tell you that if you haven't already watched them. Maybe that's also the case. This area, this habitat, it always feels, you will see that later, it feels a little bit empty, and not much done here because we have a lot of dirt and not many ground plants. It's not very jungly or foresty like other habitats that I made, but that's because we have two animals here that are herbivores. We have the llama, of course, who eats a lot of grass, and the emu is also very herbivorous bird that feeds of grasses and seeds and everything. So this habitat would not look that much forested or planted, even in an area like we are here in the temperate rainforest, because these animals would basically all eat everything. So keep that in mind. This is the reason why I didn't put that many plants here. And no worry, when we come to the Pampa area, Pampa exhibit next week, actually, where we will build for the maned wolf and the giant anteater, you will see a lot more grass, a lot more greenery and stuff, because these two animals don't really care about grasses. They care about the meaty stuff. The anteater almost more than the almost more than the anteater. Yes, my god, I'm forgetting stuff. I'm still recovering from my sickness. Sorry if I'm mumbling and rumbling at some point and don't get a straight sentence out. But yeah, I will now leave you with the rest of this speed build. The last couple of minutes I will leave you with some music, I think, and then I see you in the end for a real-time part. Finally again, we have real-time parts again for these speed builds, where we take a look at the whole exhibit in detail and in real time, and moving animals and such. So I see you then. And one point I want to add, which is not in the real-time part, as I not just now noticed because I recorded the real-time part before this one. When it comes to education, keep that in mind, just as a peek into the future, basically. When it comes to education, there you will see a nice little box with a sign on it. This box with a bird sign on it. You will know what I'm talking about when you see it. This box was made by the amazing Mr. Gecko, and is a sign on it by the amazing and talented Christina from the Planet Zoo community. Both of them, I will talk more about what they both did for this park in the next episode, when we get to more of his stuff and his creations. Just keep it in mind, because I forgot it and I feel bad if I don't talk about it. because he did amazing stuff and created amazing things for me for Raven Creek, and I should announce that whenever I get the chance. So just as an afterthought here, because I forgot it in the real-time part. But yeah, now I leave you with the rest of the music. I talked already long enough, and enjoy the music. I see you then in the real-time part at the end. Alright, and here we are now in our little and short real-time part, standing in front of our finished Llama and Emu exhibit. And we are not standing in front of the exhibit itself, but here because I also want to show you now the final name of our new area, new South American area. And big shout outs to Monsoon. You maybe know him from the modding Discord or from the modding community itself. Also member of the Planet Zoo community as well. And they suggested to name this after the Incas, which are famous high civilization, was a high civilization in South America. And so our South American area now is the Cascani Corps. Inca Trail, of course, Cascani after the wonderful Eld, our previous community manager of Bifrontier, and Inca Trail, as suggested by Monsoon, and I'm really happy about it. And I'm trying to incorporate some maybe old stone stuff here and there if it fits the design, and so keep this kind of idea of Incas, Inca Trail, Inca architecture at some points in during the walkthrough that begins here. But yeah, this is now the final name, but we are here also for, of course, animals. And before we start looking at them, we also have this little education area that you saw at the end of the speed build, where you can compare different eggs to emu eggs or Rhea eggs, and of course one of them already got stolen or broken, so there is no egg here anymore. But we have different chicken eggs, peafowl eggs, and cassowary eggs here. So these are just prop eggs, not real ones. But to kind of give them an idea how big or what differences these eggs have with different birds. And then we come to this first viewing area, which I really, really like. I like how the shadow of the trees and everything, makes it a little bit more, gloomy, a little bit more twilighty over here, where you can look right through the exhibit. You can see a little bit of the viewing area here, but you can't see the second viewing area behind there. So when you come from this area, or when you're going into this area, you come by this little peek into the whole Patagonian exhibit, Patagonian themed area here. Here are a little bit more plants as we coming down from the mountains into the forest, and over there it gets a little bit lighter with less forest, more grassy and stony stuff. Really nice, I like it. You also can't really see you can see it if you pointed it, but otherwise you won't notice it really. Also not here, the electric grass, the hot grass. And also I finally managed to finish the information signs before the episode. Proud of me that I did that. So, but if we go by around here, we also have this capybara statue that was previously over there. If I go quickly here in the wetlands area. We had this capybara statue there when we had the capybaras there. Now it moved over here where it fits more. And it found its home. I promised you it will find its home again, and now we have it here. But if we go alongside here, we have our first big, so to say, viewing area with this obnoxious loud sprinkler here. A little bit of glass here to kind of protect the guests from the animals. Of course, the emus can be a little bit aggressive, and really nice how it turned out. I was going for this little more drier, little more blank look here, not very overgrown or anything, because we have two animals in here that eat grass, that eat plants. So of course there would be a lot less grass here than we see in later parts of this area. Also a nice little hut here with some feeding stuff, and you can see they can come in here and have a nice little bit of a sleep. And if we follow, by the way, in the background, this is will be the bison area at some point in the future. We come to this big open kind of terrace kind of viewing area here with the water in front, a little bit green from algae. My god, are you guys loud? I hope it's not too loud in the video. It's loud in my ears. But you have this nice open view here over the whole area, and you can come up right onto here where we have the gate for the staff area here. But you can also get some glimpses of the backstage over here, of the big backstage building, and some stuff here where they store the hay and such. But if you come over here, it kind of gets blurred into the background also with the plants, with this high planter here, this mud wall planter. It kind of gets a little obscured, also with the service road that's going alongside here. I still want to get some views of the backstage area in to kind of have this illusion of a natural habitat, but then you always see this man-made structures in the background, and okay, this is still a zoo. It kind of breaks the illusion, and there's, I think, something zoos are really professionals of, giving us some illusion of naturalism and then breaking it in the same breath. But you already know the backstage area from the last video. If not, check it out, where I made a tour of the whole big backstage area for these guys as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, by the way, I should, before I say bye, of course, these signs made by the Awesome Lion, as well as, of course, these signs you saw over here, also made by the Awesome Lion. You can find them on the workshop. If I don't forget it, I put the link to the workshop down in the description. So what I want to say is, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, maybe consider giving a like, and if you feel especially happy, then maybe also consider subscribing to this channel. It would make my day. And yeah, we are getting close, really close to 1,000 subscribers, and you can be one of the people who contributed to that. So maybe consider doing that if you haven't already. And then I hope I see you next week in next week's episode, where we will go over the maned wolves and anteaters in the pampas. So stay excited for that. And until then, stay safe, have a great time, and yeah, bye bye everyone. Bye bye.